Hi, everybody. We're here for 30 minutes to talk about omni-channel strategy and how we may provide a convenient shopping experience for your consumers while also providing delight and surprise. So there's a lot of good news. There's a lot of good things going on. Right now, for all of you who are brick and mortar retailers, you should know that 90% of retail revenue is from brick and mortar. So we're doing the right things. We're seeing online brands like Warby Parker and Birchbox, who started an online presence, are now creating brick and mortar opportunities because they realize that the customers want human engagement. Not too long ago, some of the nation's problems were smoking. And I think about 2 years ago, we all declared that the new smoking is sitting because of Americans' inactivity. We're now predicting that the next nation's problem will be loneliness. As technology is becoming intuitive to all of us, it's also at sometimes preventing human engagement. So we found across multiple industries that human engagement is the key to our future of success in retail. I'm Jill Nichols. I'm from Gensler, our San Francisco office, and I have 20 years plus experience building brands and taking brands into retail environments, looking at your workplace, your showrooms, your trade shows, and your retail stores. We work across multiple industries, so I'm here just to tell you a little bit about the trends that we're seeing and help you be armed in the future. So a lot of good things going on out there. 22% of revenue is influenced by digital channels. What does that mean? Some of this can be very complicated, but it can also be really simple. 66% of consumers are more likely to shop at retailers offering an in-store mobile technology shopping experience. But you know what? It's still all about the people. All of your sales associates should understand the product that you carry in your stores more than the consumer that's walking in your doors. And for the outdoor industry, that's essential because most of your product is around activities, is around technical expertise, fabrication. Is this activity in an hour, a half day, a multi-day activity? How might I use your products to make my experience more comfortable? We find that arming your sales associates with greater information will be key to having a human engagement. How do you do that? What does technology have to do with that? Well, technology can be a key opportunity to leverage knowledge and information so your sales associates can have a more human engagement experience with them. For example, I might check out your website, find out about the benefits of a product, the features of it, and I come in and I think I'm looking exactly for that. But the sales associate should have more information and be able to pull up additional information, maybe on a mobile tablet, that can tell them why that product is good for their use. There may be gender reasons why something's better for a female or a male, or for your age or your level of experience. Also, think about how many sales are lost when you're on the racks or looking at boats or tents or equipment and it's not the right size or they're not the right backpack fit for me in that moment, and they'll come back or they'll look elsewhere. How might we arm your sales associates so they can have real-time, I know it's complicated, a few of you are doing it now, but real-time information on stock. So if it's not there right now, may I find it in another one of my store locations? Can I close the sale there because I have a tablet there? I'm helping my customer, I have human engagement, but I'm using technology to help them get the product they need. So one of the most important things to your success, if you could arm your sales associates with real-time stock information and shipping information. So if I'm coming in, can I buy in-store? May I return my online purchase while in-store? Might I also purchase items that aren't in your store but are at another location, all with a seamless shopping experience, all with one transaction, all with one of sales associates. That's how specialty retail can really start talking about digital and seamless experience. So when we talk about digital, we're not referencing large monitors on the wall, content that needs to be created all the time and changed out daily. We're speaking about arming the close of business by giving your human interactive associate information. Another great data point is how might I help them by knowing their customer history? And there's sometimes a fear of we don't want to know too much about the customers because they think that you're tracking them. But what if I saw that you've come in repeatedly and you continue to buy a same brand or the same product type and you're returning it? So they may tell me that that product or that brand has a fit issue. So maybe you want to move that customer into a different brand. So those are the things that having that technology, having that information, knowing that I've tried on 60 white shirts and I always come back and return it, that you're maybe uncovering some other issues. Few brands are doing this really well. So Timberland, which is one of our neighbors right over here, you may be able to get firsthand information from Timberland, but they're using Beacon technology and providing tablets in one store that I could shop by myself as a silent salesman and put the tablet next to any of the products and get product information, styling options, this may go well with that, and also recommendations. Does that mean it's the answer? Not always. Sometimes you may want to have human engagement, but there's other times that you don't want to speak to anybody, you want to be in and out, have convenience, and this is how Beacon technology can allow that to happen. Smart fitting rooms. I've talked in the past few years at OR about Rebecca Minkoff, and she actually has been one of the leaders in using technology in fitting rooms in apparel. And initially it was tracking what I'm trying on at that moment and allowing me to interact without stepping out of the fit room to find different sizes, different colors, different quantities. But now in addition, she's tracking what you've tried on. In the example I just gave, one of the things that they're learning are they have particular fit problems with some of their apparel because they're seeing the most tried on garment has been the least transactional garment, which helped the product development determine that it looks great on the hanger, it looks terrible on the human. So there's other things that we can learn by using technology, whether in the fit room or in tablets on your store. There's a lot of good news out there. So I know that the retail environment is becoming more and more competitive, but armed with a few knowledge points, I think we can all move towards success. 59% of consumers prefer using an in-store kiosk rather than speaking to associates. You're thinking, really? Do I have to have in-store kiosk? However, 41% claim that the sales associate should be equipped with special purpose mobile devices and they're more helpful. So what's the takeaway? The takeaway is flexibility. The takeaway is having options. The takeaway is allowing greater engagement in your store while having digital technology to fill some of the gaps. So one needs to make a decision on what should I focus on. What may be the best transactional element that I can provide with the finances that I have to invest in this. And it can be simple things. Macy's is a good example of how when you enter the department, you already have an opportunity to make a choice. There's a kiosk there where I can find what I need, and there's also a greeter or human person. And gone are the days where it's just like, hi, how are you? We're used to doing that all day, every time you walk in and out of a store. But it may be more of a brand message or tone of voice of, where are you traveling to next week? Or what was your last adventure? Which adds that engagement that we're all so hungry for. We want to speak to an expert. We want to understand how a human can help me. And when you don't, you use a kiosk. We talked a lot about the people, retail associate platform. So there's a CRM system that retailers can deliver customized shopping experiences. And again, what you really want to know is their shopping history. And we need to go beyond thinking about tracking their shopping history as a big brother, but more as how can I help save you time while you're shopping by providing direction on what products would be best served to your consumer needs. So I'm going to save you a lot of time if I know what you're returning or what you're always liking, and I can move you towards that product or the next advanced level of that product. If they came in as a novice in one sport, 2 years later they may be an expert, so they may need a different level of a product to serve their activity. 70% of customers prefer mobile POS instead of cash wrap. How many of you are brick and mortar retailers in the audience right now? And are any of you using the mobile POS system? Okay. So it is an investment, but we're finding that the opportunity to move along with the customer with some of the prior points I said earlier, where I can help them find the product they need, I can let them know that I can still purchase that right now even though it's not on the shelf. Real time, it's all about saving time and convenience. And we know now that time is a new currency, right? We're all so strapped, our lives are so complicated. How can we simplify the shopping experience by having a convenient, digital, technology-enabled shopping? Who's doing this well? There's a brand, they were a startup only a year ago. Actually, they came to our office, Genzer, and looking for a little help building this pop-up. And they're now at, I believe, over 1,000 Target stores. And what they provide is an Uber-type experience where if I purchase online and pick up in store, they'll track me as my car or whatever I'm in right now is coming close to the store. Your items are pulled out to the curb. The transaction's already been made. You put it in your trunk and you're out the door. There's a lot of ways to do this, but really what we're trying to do is save people time by doing tasks that aren't important or hold value to your consumers. Receiving the merchandise that you purchase and getting it back to my home isn't an important thing that we all want to invest time in. What we love to do is selecting the products that we want. So how can we help your consumers get things back to their homes? Another way is, of course, we understand the Uber 2-day delivery, the work that Amazon's doing. We talk about Amazon a lot. But how might you, particularly in large item gear, help your shoppers get those large items back to their home? There's a lot of ways to do that, whether you're supplying fulfillment or convenient delivery yourself or engaging a third party to help you do that. But we find that when you can help your consumers avoid these problems of getting it into a car that they may not have and getting it home, they're going to come back to your store. We do know that the next generation, fewer of them are owning houses, fewer of them are owning cars. Uber and Lyft are common language. We all know what that is now. So how do we think of a retail experience that takes advantage of our shopper who doesn't have their own vehicle? Something to think about. That may not be a financial investment for you, but it may mean just having a partnership. 85% of survey respondents would like to see more customized, location-based coupons and promotions while in store. Some of you may not do any coupons, but I bet all of you have some promotional activity throughout the course of a year. So how might we do that so it's targeted to what I'm attracted by that may be different than what somebody else is attracted by? This is an image recognition app that's being beta tested right now. I can say that it's not fully operational, but the whole idea, and I think by January, the next time I'm here, we'll see a lot of history on this. We can track it and see what's a success. But the attempt is that one can, I love what you're wearing. I'm going to take a picture of it on my phone and I'm going to purchase it. It automatically takes me back to the brands, whether it's the footwear, the jeans, the bag, the shirt, the jacket, the backpack, whatever I have, and I can close the transaction, I find the product, make the selection, and close that. So the reason why I'm talking to you about apps that you may or may not engage in, You need to be abreast of what the future brings. How can I better prepare myself and my store, understanding what's going on around me in the world of retail, whether it's outdoor or another industry? It's important to know what's ahead of us. And the whole idea of promotional couponing is that you don't miss a deal. That I know when I'm walking by my retail store that I find out that tents are on promotion today and only today. It may not require me to read any media to consume that information. I'm just going to provide that as the consumer's walking by my front door. So the goal here is you're driving traffic in store. You may be increasing your audience and hopefully having them engage in the products that you sell. I could talk for a long time about the trends that we see, but one of the things that leveraging technology really requires is human engagement. It's very important that our sales associates are well informed on the product, that you task the right people with the tools. So if I'm provided a tool, a tablet, that I know how to use it, and that may mean that not everyone on your sales floor is that person. It may require one or two to lead that effort while the others engage in different ways. Flexibility is key. The consumers that we're talking about now are trying to save time. They want you also to help them make decisions. They look to you to provide the product information that will help them close a deal, know what they need for the activity they're using on. And we absolutely have to think about how technology can get us there. Because every person probably on this trade show floor has some smartphone at the very least and multiple devices in their bag or in their hotel room. So it's up to us to understand how can we leverage that technology knowing it's not going away, that we don't have a fear around it, and we can find the simplest way that's appropriate for each of your brands to help get where you want to be. Because there won't be an opportunity to not engage later. It's really important. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to make sure I didn't talk the whole time, but I'd love to open it up for Q&A, because all of you probably have a different background and experience, and I want to make sure that I can leave you with tools that are appropriate for your individual needs. So if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Nothing? You know all about this? Are you interested in more trends? Do you want to know the apps that are going on? Geofencing, geocaching? Are you more interested in expanding your fleet of technology? I'd love to hear where you all are today. Yeah, and there's a microphone in back. We want to tape it so we can, or you can tell me and I'll repeat it. He's curious if anyone is doing anything interesting with QR codes. I'll tell you that QR codes, as we know, are nothing new, right? We probably all put that app on our phone 2, 4, 5 years ago. It was the first opportunity to engage the consumer without needing that human interaction to find more information, right? We all know now what a QR code is. Initially, no one even knew what it was. And it's a deeper dive. The only brand that I know is looking at QR codes still is Walmart, because Walmart feels that the breadth of their audience, which is everyone, every American, that's their audience. Pretty crazy when you think about that. But that there's an understanding of what QR codes do, and they're hoping that the interactive engagement with QR codes will help them get information about their customer only. Other than that, we're not seeing any other specialty retailer continue to engage with that, because we feel there's other tools that can provide deeper dive information, as easy as a tablet. So our recommendation is they're behind us. They're in the background. I'd look beyond QR codes. Anything else? Are all of you having a mobile technology-enabled stores? Are any of you have a mobile-enabled technology store? You are? Have you found success? Great. Yes, we have a winner. He's using mobile technology and he is successful at retail. I'm sure there's a lot that we can learn. I think part of the excitement of being on the trade show floor is talking to each other, because you all have real life experiences of what you've tried, what's worked for you, and you can share that information to save other people a lot of time and money. Nothing else? Well, I'm going to hang out up here, and I'm happy to talk to any of you as long as you want. I do have a lot of experience and years in the outdoor industry, but we also work in a lot of other cross industries. We work a lot with the technology companies, so I'm happy to share any information I have that would be helpful to you. But thanks for stopping by today and resting for a few minutes.